You have to be willing to make mistakes, take risks, and start. And this one is hard, and it sounds simple, but a lot of people that I know, they are so hesitant to making that first investment because what if I do something wrong? What if I make a mistake? What if my investment goes down? And so the simple thing
that's happened to me multiple times.
Yeah, but you learn every time, right?
Yeah.
It's your tuition. It's your real tuition. And you have to be willing to try things, because if you don't, you're going to get stuck in the game of what if. What if I lose money? What if it doesn't work out? Well, what if it goes up? What if you learn? I have made a lot of mistakes. I made a video on my YouTube channel where I went through my worst real estate deal ever. It was my third property that I ever bought. It was a home in the city of Detroit. And I made every mistake possible. Now, I'm still in college, right? I don't know what's going on exactly with real estate investing. And I mean, I bought the property, and I bought it because my contractor at the time told me that we can make a lot of money on this deal. We'd be able to rent it out. We could flip it if I wanted to. And he was like, don't even worry about getting a home inspection. Now, when I buy a property now, the first thing I do is I get a property inspection where somebody walks through the deal, makes sure, a third party, an independent person, and they tell me anything wrong with the property, in the foundation, in the plumbing, in really anything with the property, so I know what I'm getting myself into. And so he told me don't do that. He said, don't worry, I already walked through. He's a contractor, so I figured he knows what he's talking about. All you have to do is spend $5,500, and I will make sure this property is ready to go.
Wow.
So I said, okay, let's do it. So I bought the home. I gave him a check for half, or maybe $2,500 or $3,000, something around there, $3,000. And a week goes by, nothing starts. 2 weeks go by, nothing starts. And I call him, I said, hey man, what's going on? Like, I thought we were gonna have this done in 2 weeks. Here we are 2 weeks later, and you haven't even brought your materials here. So I got caught up with something's going wrong. And so now 2 more weeks go by, he brought some materials there, he started painting one wall, and that was it. And so, I'm getting upset because now it's like, every day that this property is now leased out it's costing money.
Yeah.
And still nothing's getting done. Another 2 weeks go by, and now I'm like, okay, look, what's going on? We got to get this taken care of, because now we're 6 weeks into this deal. You haven't done a single thing. You keep putting me off. You took my money, and nothing's happened. And so, long story short on that, he ran away. He was having financial difficulties. That's why he wanted me to close on this deal, because he needed some cash. And now he's gone. So now I have another property that somebody was working on, a manager, and he was having some issues at my property. He was causing some problems. So I figured, he's causing problems there. How about you come work at this property, and you need a home. You can live in this home for free.
Fix it up.
Just fix it up.
Yeah.
And so he said, okay. So now I thought, all right, I found a good deal here. I got somebody who'll fix it up. He'll live there, take care of it, and it's going to cost me less money. And so now he's living in this property, and he's like, how about this? How about you just open up a charge account at Home Depot, and I'll just go buy stuff and take care of it at the home. I said, okay. So I go open up the charge account. He starts buying materials, not to work on my home, but to work on other people's properties.
Oh my gosh.
So now I'm like, dude, like, you're spending my money to go work on other people's properties so you can make double profits over there. You haven't started any work on my home. You're not paying me rent. You have a dog that you're not taking care of who's pooping everywhere in the property, and it's not being taken care of. And so now, how do I get somebody out of this home? I got to evict him out of my own property. There's no lease in place. So now we got into all these legal issues of how do we get this person out of the home. We get him out of the home. It took me months to get him out. The property now is destroyed.
Trash. Oh man.
There's crap, literal crap all over the home. He damaged the place, did not take care of it, and now it's like we have to start all over from negative to start fixing this property up. So now we start fixing it. I got a licensed and insured contractor. We're months into the deal, and he wants, I don't know, like a lot more money, at least 10 grand, if not more, to start doing the renovations. And we start digging deep, and we start to see problem after problem after problem. So now every cost keeps adding up. Now the home is ready to go. And I'm like, all right, fine. And everybody told me, Jaspreet, don't license this home with the city of Detroit as a rental, because nobody does it. And this is, again, after the 2008 crash, Detroit went through its bankruptcy. They were having their own issues, but I don't like to play games. I want to play by the rules. So I said, I'm going to get a license for rental. When you get a license for rental, they're going to send their own property inspectors out to the property, and they're going to inspect it and make sure that it's okay. So now the property inspectors come out and they say, I need to lift up the home. So what do you mean lift up the home? They're like, oh yeah, we need to raise the home. I didn't even know that you could do that. Apparently you can, and it's very expensive.
Wow.
So I lift up the home, and then we start running the water in the property, and it turns out that the water is not draining to the main city line. Apparently, somebody previously living in this property had poured cement down the main drain. Now, in order to get this property working, we have to bust out the cement in the basement, take out this pipe, put in a new pipe, re-pour the cement, and then these property inspectors start disagreeing with one another. One person says that you need a 10-foot electrical riser, so we make it 10 feet. The next one comes, says, why is it 10 feet? It needs to be 13 feet. I'm like, your first person said 10, and now they start fighting with each other, and we have to keep paying for these inspectors to come back. They keep charging me permit fees for everything. If I want to paint the windowsills, it's a $100 permit fee. Change the smoke detectors, $75 permit fee. So this goes on and on and on and on for months. Finally, now we're approved for rental. I was like, oh my God, like this is the biggest headache of my life. We get a tenant in the property, we get licensed, a tenant's in the property, and now we have the license, and the property inspectors just decides to go back to the property. They don't tell us. They just go back there. Even though we're fully licensed, they had no reason to go there. They knock on the door, and apparently, we didn't know this, the tenant was having a babysitting operation in a property. So now the inspector sees this, that this tenant is running an illegal babysitting operation. He tells us, he fines us, tells us we need to evict the tenant, and now we have to start this process all over again. So after that point, I was like, you know what, just sell this property.
Wow.
Because this is the biggest headache. And that was the only deal I ever lost money on. But I learned a lot. It was my tuition. So you have to be willing to learn, be willing to make mistakes, and then be willing to grow from those mistakes, go on and keep willing to go. Because the thing that I kept telling myself is, there's a lot of real estate investors out there that have thousands of units. There's no way they're dealing with this with every single one. They have a team. Right. I just got to figure out how to do it. So that's the only way that I could get through that.
I think I also don't think people understand that investing can feel like a full contact sport at times. It can feel like you get punched in the gut, in the face, and the ribs over and over again, like you did for almost a year, it sounds like, with this one property. What if that was your first property? You might have said, screw this real estate investing thing. I'm never doing this again. I lost all my money. I'm just going to go back into doing something that is safe and secure, that I know is not going to punch me in the mouth every day with another fine and fee and penalty or whatever it might be. So I think people also need to understand this is a risky thing.
Absolutely.
I've lost a lot of money. I've made a lot of money, lost a lot of money. It never feels good to lose money.
It doesn't.
It's emotionally charging. It's psychologically can mess with you if you're not mentally and spiritually prepared to understand, okay, it doesn't feel good to go from a few $100,000 to zero. In weeks, like some people did with the stock market or something in the last year, or real estate or whatever it might be, or with crypto going up and then coming down. It's a big psychological high and low if you're not prepared for it.
If you enjoyed this clip and you want to continue your financial education journey, I have another video that I think you'll love. All you got to do is click that button right over there. And for those of you who want to stay up to date on the top finance and business news, you can join Market Briefs, my free financial newsletter, by clicking that button below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.